Hey guys, welcome back to another deep dive video here at Luminous Chiropractic. And today we're going to be talking about neurodevelopment milestones for our kiddos. This has been a popular topic here in the office here recently, so I wanted to get in here and expand on it for you and start to talk a little bit more about those details. And again, the granular pieces and the differences and the nuances that might come up along the way, but mostly just to start to expand on this topic because it's super important because can be kind of confusing for parents like yourself with a child that may have some struggles in and around those developmental milestones. My hopes is to then give you some clarity around that, to give you some understanding and some more peace of mind and some ease around uh, what that might look like and some things that might need to be addressed. And most importantly, the amazing ability that your kiddo has to make the changes, right? So let's just start from ground zero. Let's just kind of start from the basics. Neurodevelopment, those milestones are pre-programmed for our kiddos. Those things are already there. We do not have to give the body anything. We do not have to take anything away. We do not have to teach them. We do not have to do these things to kind of add to what's already there, if you will. When our children are born, that program for development is there from the very beginning. It is already written, if you will. All we have to do, and the best thing that we can do, is to support our kids in a way that allows those milestones and allows that neurodevelopment to happen, as optimally as possible. Now, what we're seeing, and this is going to be a topic for a different video, but just really quick, what we're beginning to see is more kiddos more challenged early because most importantly, from the birthing process, the big rise in um, C-sections specifically, but then the rise of things being added in to the birthing process adds more stress, adds more trauma, more early in the developmental cycle. But the more often that those things happen creates more challenge. And then we can start to see those things show up as these developmental milestones either being skipped, the sequence being off, or that timeline being pushed way, way out. We're going to get more into that in just a second, but that's kind of where the challenges that we're seeing and the kiddos, unfortunately, coming to our office with more of these challenges, kind of where that kind of kicks off and where it starts. The kind of overarching, I guess, mainstream way to think about these things is if a kid has a challenge with a milestone, with a part of neurodevelopment, most often you will hear they're going to grow out of it, which could not be further from the truth. That is not the whole story. We talked a little bit about this in our first video. That milestone will then them either being super late, skipping, or being out of sequence, that challenge that the nervous system is experiencing, that more than likely it's stuck somewhere in its process, that's just going to end up showing up as something else if we don't address why or how or where it's stuck right now. Yes, they technically are going to grow out of that challenge, whether it be, let's take something super simple like um, not crawling. Yeah, okay, they might grow out of not crawling, but that not crawling is then going to show up as something else. They are going to grow into another challenge, right? So saying they're going to grow out of it is not quite the most accurate way, in my opinion, to talk about that or to think about that. The more accurate way for us as parents to think about this for our kids is they're more than likely going to grow into something else unless we can give their nervous system a chance to actually unwind what's going on and what might be causing that challenge in the first place and get them and their nervous system and their body back to a place where they're able to make the changes. And that is the key to this whole thing, this whole discussion. Anything you're ever going to hear me talk about, and I'm probably going to repeat it in these videos until I'm blue in the face over and over again. You're going to get tired of me saying it. My only role in this process, if I am honored enough to take care of your child and your family, is to help them stay in a place and get their nervous system to a place where it can make the change, it can reorganize, it can do the healing on its own because that's how they're designed. That's how we're all designed. Our healing comes from within. I am not trying to add, take away, or make them different in any way. I'm simply trying to get them back to a place where they can do it on their own because I know they can. So, as far as this thing of neurodevelopment milestones goes, if we help them start to get out of that place, start to unwind that stuckness, uh, their challenges will, and I see it so often, will start to change. They will start to come out of, right? We can get them back on track to help them start to get back towards that optimal level of neurodevelopment. That's the key here too, is when I'm talking about neurodevelopment, when I'm talking about milestones with the families in our practice, I am always referring to them in reference to what they are optimally, because that's what we're really after. And that's what we're designed to do as kids, as babies, is we are designed to go through these milestones very specifically and optimally. There are certain ways in functionality, if you will, in ways that we expect these things to look. And if they don't look that way, then we know that can be a little bit of a nod or a hint to maybe that nervous system is a little stuck. And the easiest one that I can explain it, the one that I see the most often, is when we start to get those kiddos more mobile. When they start getting from crawling to walking, that's where we can start to maybe see a little bit of that, a little bit more than the rolling or the tummy time. We expect crawling to be crawling. We expect hands and knees, not hands and knees with one foot or butt scooting. We expect these kiddos to crawl. We need that to happen. That cross crawl pattern is super vital, not just for their movement standpoint, but for the later development of their brain because it helps really connect right and left side of the brain. If that doesn't look like hands and knees crawling, we might have a little bit of a nervous system that's stuck and just needs a little bit of help. Walking, if they're toe walking, if they're not pushing up off their toes once they get really comfortable with walking, if they're just constantly just kind of duck walking and kind of slapping their feet, that is not an optimal movement pattern for them. That could then be a sign that we need to kind of investigate a little bit more. And it can go in any of these milestones. If they doesn't look quite right, that's a big hint that we might have a nervous system that is a little stuck and that they might need a little help from somebody like myself or a neurologically focused chiropractor, because we can pinpoint exactly where their nervous system needs the most help and where we can start to unwind that to get their body back to a place where they are healing and optimizing their function on their own. So if you have any questions or want to get your kiddo and your family looked at, checked out, kind of see what the process is like, hey, could my kiddo even benefit from something like this? Please reach out to us. We'll answer any and all questions that you have, get you scheduled. And the biggest thing that we can do is get your kiddos and you scanned, especially if your kiddo, or if you're thinking that your kiddo might have a challenge or might be seeing a little bit of a less than optimal development as far as it comes from milestones. Let's get them in, let's get them scanned so we can know exactly what the nervous system might need and we can get them back on track towards that optimal health, healing, and neuro development. We can't wait to see you guys soon, and I will see you next week for our next video. Talk to you soon.